Well, the high school soccer regular season has come to a close.
In Cumberland County, East Pennsboro's boys did not qualify for the playoffs, but Fox 43 Sports Director Todd Sadowski is here to introduce a story about one of the Panthers overcoming tremendous odds just to be on the field.
Well, for any coach, all you can ask of your athletes is to play with heart. Fox 43's Lori Snyder shows us how East Penn Senior Joe Mansaray embodies that sentiment in a way you can't even imagine.
Our next senior, Joe Mansaray.
2 years ago, East Pennsboro's Joe Mansaray was a rising star in high school soccer. But the summer before his junior year, he started having trouble breathing.
When I would go outside and play, I'd get tired very easily than before. And I didn't know why.
I played soccer with him on a Thursday, and then Friday morning he came into my room and said, "Dad, I'm having problems breathing."
He thought it was just a cold. It turned out to be something much more serious.
It's called cardiomyopathy. It's whenever your heart gets enlarged and it doesn't squeeze as efficient as a regular heart should be.
It's also hereditary. And at the time Joe was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy, his mom was already waiting for a heart transplant. A mother and a son both battling the same disease at the same time.
A 16-year-old boy with an LVAD, that's a pump in his heart, because that was what they did just to keep him alive until they got a heart for him. And then you see him standing on the bedside of his mother, who has just gone through her own surgery and was fighting for her life.
The things that still happen to her, it bothered me. I would think, like, is that how I'll end up? And I got very scared, like, not just for me, but for the both of us.
Joe had every reason to be scared. Here at senior night at East Pennsboro, he is surrounded by family and friends, but one person is missing, his mom.
He's being escorted tonight by his sister Beverly and his father Peter.
In September of last year, Joe's mom did get a heart transplant, but there were complications after the surgery.
It's hard for the body to accept it. Later on, we found out that diseases were building up inside her body, and her white blood cells were rapidly going up, which is not a good thing. And when we went in there, we saw that her hands, her fingertips, and her toes, they were purple.
When my daughter told me, said, "Let's pray for Mom," we formed the circle around her bed, joined hands with Joe standing there, and then we prayed. After the prayer, my wife passed away.
Then, only 2 months after losing his mom, Joe found out that he too would need a transplant.
When they did the catheterization to find out the condition of his heart, and he almost died at the operating room before they did anything else. After that, Joseph looked me straight in the eye and said, "Dad, what did I do to deserve this?" And I said, "Dad, what do you tell him?"
It was very, very hard. My stamina was horrible when I first came out of surgery. And they made me, like even the change, like my clothes, I'd get tired.
The rehab sessions that followed were often frustrating for Joe, but there was one thing that motivated him more than anything else.
I was thinking about soccer.
We gotta leave the person with the ball.
Just 6 months later, Joe shocked everybody, including his head coach.
I see Joe and his father and brother and sister standing near my car, and the father walks up to me and goes, "Coach, Joe's been cleared to play," and he shook my hand, and I said, "You're kidding me."
Watching Joe run around the field with a new heart, though, made the coach more nervous than the player.
I wasn't too worried because they told me that I don't have anything to worry about, just drink a lot of water, but I felt fine though.
I did worry. I worried when he took his first hit that, how he'd respond, but he got up. In fact, he actually let the guy know he didn't like it. For him to come back and do what he's done is an amazing feat. I've never heard of it before. In terms of his playing ability and fitness level, it's miraculous.
Joe would like to thank his teammates, his parents.
I usually use the word grace, but I don't even know if that's the correct word. But when I think of him, he gives me strength. The strength that people think, "Oh, Peter, you dealt with this," I got most of that from Joseph.
Well, great job by Lori on the story, but amazing young man. And I know what you're thinking. What's next for Joe, right? Well, the answer, like for a lot of high school seniors, not sure yet. Plans on going to college. good enough player to continue competing at the next level, the Temple is an option as far as going to school. His older brother is a student there. No matter what path he takes, considering what he's been through, I think he's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
I think so.
And I look at the picture over your shoulder here, the scar, and it's just amazing, like the coach said, that 6 months later, he's running around that field. It really is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great story. Thank you, Todd.
Thanks, Todd.